Okay, so first things first, what we need to do is make sure everybody's got a fresh copy of the template folder. If you've already got this class project template release and you want to copy and paste it and rename it, you can do that. It does take a little bit longer. So I'm going to show you the full fork process from this link that I just sent out to your Canvas pages, okay? We're going to take this source code zip, but before we do that, we should rename our old file to have the word old in it so we don't accidentally overwrite any of the templates in the example, okay? So if I go to my web design folder or wherever I'm keeping my web design work, semester 2, WD, we have a couple of folders here. Let me make them not so big, sorry. A couple of folders here. We have our template release already, but we're going to rename that to add the word old at the end of it. Oh, it took the whole thing. That's fine. I'm going to go fast at the start because I want to help you individually, okay? We're renaming this to old. It's going to think for a second. And then we're going to download this source code.zip. Mine asks me where I want to save it. Yours will probably just go straight to your downloads. So that's where I'm going to put mine. Save file to downloads. It's already there from fourth period. So I'm just going to overwrite it real quick. And it's all done when you see in your downloads section up here, the class project template release, okay? If you click on this folder icon up in the top right, it will open the folder that it lives in. That's important because then we're going to double click on the zippered version and take the unzippered version and copy that to our documents or to wherever we're going to save our June folder, okay? So mine is in my 2025 folder and then in my web design subfolder. So I'm going to drag and drop project template release onto web design and I'm going to wait for it to finish, okay? Where did it go? This one right here. Okay, so if I look at web design and I make my screen small again, there's a class project template release right there. I'm going to immediately rename it to my P5 June Blakeney, so I know that this is my June folder, okay? Which is what your final project will be. It's going to take a second. Mine is not responding. Let's go back one. Now I've got a P5 June Blakeney right here. Okay? Again, I'm going fast because I want to check in with y'all individually. We are currently at step number 3. Next up is in VS Code, steps 4 and 5, and then we have our regular GitHub deploy by the end of the period, okay? So we're going to open this in VS Code by going to File, Open Folder, and then find wherever the folder lives. I put fourth periods in my screen recordings because my other one didn't work. Let's go to my web design folder. Here is my June folder. We're going to select it and immediately go into the terminal, okay? We changed the launch settings to command prompt. Basically, anything we do is in command prompt. So if yours doesn't work, check and make sure you're in command prompt. And type the command npm I, okay? This is going to install all of our necessary stuff to make them work on our computers, but we're going to ignore this folder when we deploy to Vercel. This is the first spot where I'm going to take a lap and see where you're at. But to summarize, download the .zip, move the unzipped one into your web design folder, rename it to your period number, June, your last name. Right now we're on this step right here, npm I, okay? Help each other out as best you can. I will be around in a second, and I will let this finish running on your screen here. We'll start recording again. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the next steps before I help everybody get caught up. What we've done with npm I, that's what adds the node modules folder, which allows your template to work on your computer, but it's the one that we take out from GitHub and from Vercel because they're not as needed, and it speeds up our deployment time. So next up, what we're going to do is do an npm run lint and npm run build, just to remember what those commands do. We're going to start with lint, npm run lint. Okay, it's going to tell us if there's any issues. There's nothing, so you'll see either warnings or errors. There's not going to be any because this is a blank template and it doesn't have any changes or any of our additions on there yet. And then we're going to do an npm run build, like so. And this is the one where you're going to see the purple box or the purple triangle again because it's Next.js. But instead of 2 green check marks, you're going to see a whole bunch of green check marks. So give it a second. I'm going to take attendance while that's going for y'all. You're going to see, I think it's like 5 or 6 green check marks. Okay, so you know it's built correctly when you see this root app and you see all the little like lines and size and stuff like that. You want to look for root app. Okay. Now, just to be as quick as possible, we're going to make GitHub repositories for our June folder, and then we'll just upload our stuff like at the end of each week. Go to new repository, and then immediately make sure you turn on the add a readme, because otherwise it will not do what you need to do. We're going to call the repository p5/June-Blakeney, and then we're going to create our repo here. Okay? Going to wait a second. Go to add file, upload files. Again, I'm going fast on purpose because I want to get this recorded so that we can I can help you individually. Get to a screen where you can see both your file explorer and the white box where it says drag files here. Those are where we're going to drag our newly created web design folder. Okay, so I'm going to go into web design. I'm going to find my P5 June Blakeney. I'm going to make sure that my item checkboxes is turned on by going to view, show, item checkboxes like this. And then we're going to click one time on next, hold control and press A, and then uncheck next and node modules. Then carefully drag the blue to the white, wait for it to finish copying. You can minimize your file explorer. This is stuff we just recently did for our May notebook checks. It's exactly the same steps. It's just in a new repo. Once they're all done, click commit changes at the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to stop right here as I continue to check and get people caught up. Okay? Okay, one last step, and then we're done. All right, we're nearly there. The hard part is over. Hey, guys, please. Thank you. Okay, so next we're going to go to Vercel. Make sure you remember all of your logins because I spent fourth period helping somebody get logged back in. Once you're in Vercel, you add a new project. This is exactly what we just did with the May notebook checks, if you remember. There's my P5 June Blakeney, and I can see it has this black and white N symbol. That is the one you're looking for, okay? So I'm going to import that. I'm going to leave all the settings as a default, and I'm going to click deploy, okay? And you should have if your npm build worked and your npm lint worked, then your deploy should work. That's why we do those checks, to make sure that they're all going to be functional, okay? This is all I need you to do today, is to get your site at a default, repositoried, linted, noded, and uploaded through Vercel, okay? Then now that we've done all this, we don't have to rush to do it at the end of the year, especially because I know some people are leaving early, or it's just something you'd rather not worry about during finals week. Do it now instead of later, okay? So I'm going to let this finish, help you as needed, and that's all I need you to do today. We'll talk more about your final. Let me stop the recording. We'll talk more about your final during tomorrow's block day because I wanted today to just be configuring. Last thing I'll say real quick, once you see this screen, you're good. You're done for the day. If you have, excuse me, if you're having a 404, it's okay. You're not the only one. There's a handful in class. We're going to figure it out at a later date. But we got our repository created. We got our project mostly deployed with Vercel. We got our project, or our thing noted. We linted it. It's ready for us to work on our final projects and submit by the end of your final period, which is, I don't know off the top of my head, but in a few weeks. So anyway, okay, see ya. Okay.